There are some things in this world that go way beyond human understanding. Things that cannot be explained. Things that most people don't want to know about. That is where we come.
Do you know what the most frightening thing in the world is? It's fear.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid!
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
It's all true. The boogeyman is real. And you found him.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
I see dead people.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
They're here.
Good evening and welcome back to Ghost Frickin' Talking, your paranormal podcast like none other, coming to you via a podcast and the YouTubes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Ghost Frickin' Talking. I am your humble host. My name is Nick.
I am Trenton.
And I am Newsroom Nessie.
Newsroom Nessie coming to you straight from the Spread Shop newsroom. If you guys don't know what Spread Shop is where you can go and get some Ghost Frickin' Talking gear, like the shirt that I'm wearing here, or the sweatshirt that he's got on, the hoodie, and then Nessie's showing her boobs over there.
Yep.
In the Ghost Frickin' Talking shirt as well.
Skeletons on them.
Skeleton on your boobies. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, what?
So Logan did ask, is it appropriate for school?
Is what appropriate for
wearing
school?
the merch?
Oh, why wouldn't it be?
And that's what I said, because, get everyone to wear the Ghost Frickin' Talking merch.
Yeah, it's not like it says ghost blowing ghost or something.
No, bro. You guys got to get the merch. So, heck, give it to your kids. They can wear it to school and be like, hey, this is the coolest podcast of all time.
It doesn't say, Ghost of Columbine or anything, dude. Come on, you can wear this shit at school. So if you guys want to, everyone's gonna be going back into school. You want to represent, you can go and represent Ghost Frickin' Talking in school, and be cool, because you gotta be cool when you're in school, right?
Heck yeah!
All right, guys. So we're just gonna. I want to say, because we plug them every episode. We want to wish our friend Kevin Hinkle of Mr. Hinkle Draws. We wish him a speedy recovery. He went in for emergency surgery last Friday.
To get his tail removed.
Yes.
Kevin had a tail.
He had a tail.
He was a furry?
Yeah, he was a furry. No, he had his appendix taken out.
Yes.
Because
he had appendicitis.
He had appendicitis, and I think somebody said it went gangrenous and stuff like that. So
I don't know.
We wish
but he's better now.
Yeah, he's better now, and so we wish him, speedy recovery on that. So he's one of our most valued listeners out there. He listens to every episode and gives us compliments and stuff like that. And he even noticed last week that you have earrings now.
Yeah, I saw. He pays attention. He cares. He admires me.
He notices the little things.
He notices my earrings. So you can barely even see on the thing, though. You can barely see it.
Yeah. So now you have earrings. So you're well on your way for your transgender.
I'm not transgender. I wanted one to be cool, but I was paying for both. So why not get both? So
now I'm super cool.
Yeah, super cool.
I'm double as cool.
Speedy recovery out there, Kevin Hinkle. So if you guys can go and support Kevin, it's Mr. Hinkle, Etsy shop, Mr. Hinkle Draws, and he's gonna, I think, MrHinkleDraws.com is out there now.
Ooh, he's even got a .com now?
Yeah, he's got his own website, so you guys can go out there and check him out there as well, and purchase some awesome art stuff and stickers and all the other cool stuff he's got out there. So go and support him. Good friend of ours. So as for anything paranormal, nothing has paranormal wise hasn't been happening here.
Yeah, no.
It's been a very quiet week. because we are actually on a week schedule.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
For what? This is the second show.
Second show, yep.
Let's see if we can keep it going.
Yeah, let's see if we can go.
Can we count this as a streak in that?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, let's not count the chickens before they hatch.
We're going streaky. But I have been going back and listening to our earlier podcast. And if you listen to those early podcasts and you listen to these podcasts now, it is so night and day, because when we first started doing the podcast, it was just me and him, and we're talking like this.
We sounded so much serious.
And welcome to Ghost Freaking Talking. It sounded like we are on that, what is that, the NPR, the public radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Classical.
Yes. And today on Classical Heroes of the Pastime, we talk about Beethoven.
Yeah, no. Seriously. We sounded so much serious.
Yeah. So we have lightened up quite a bit. So
but
pretty nice.
We made it to episode 2, and that was Kicking Leaves. And I do stand that it's still leaves.
Yes. The episode 2 is where it kicked off with that. And I got to the end of episode 2. Episode 2 was the very first Stay Spooky, where we coined the phrase Stay Spooky at the end of episode 2.
That's mine.
So we got Stay Spooky there. And then, because I was going, my ending phrase was Good evening. And then I think at one point I was doing the whole Elvira one where it says unpleasant dreams.
Oh, yeah.
It's unpleasant dreams. And then I didn't want to get sued by Elvira if this kind of picked up. So,
yeah.
But, she could do anything she wants to me. But, okay. Anyway.
Fight.
Dude, I'm telling you, Elvira, dude, I don't know how old she is, but she still looks fine as hell.
Yeah. I haven't seen recent pictures of her.
Man, she's...
Were you saying fight?
Yes. Fight him.
You think she's one of those jealous type girls?
Yes.
Or are you talking about fighting him?
Yeah, you two fight.
Oh, why would I fight him?
Because he's talking about doing the devil's tango with another...
Well, I'd be there with the camera, so...
Yes, that's my girl right there. All right.
Well, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here on YouTube.
But for today's show, we're going to actually talk a little closer to home. And I know people are like, man, all you guys do is talk about Rockford this, Rockford that. Well, being COVID era, we kind of have to stick around our area a little bit.
Stuck here.
But fucking Rockford is in the news.
It has been in the news.
Around the world.
Yeah, it's even
thanks to a TikTok.
Britain, right? Britain.
Yeah, it's in the
United Kingdom, yeah.
United Kingdom picked it up. There's a suspected serial killer here in Rockford, Illinois.
That's the gossip on the street.
And I have been talking to people about this for a while now, since bodies started popping up.
Yeah, we've talked about this. Yeah, when the news like, oh, hey, they found another body. Or like, hey, that's body number 3, body number 4. We were counting. And like, this has to be your serial killer. And it was funny because you'd only hear about it like once on the news. And then that was it. You wouldn't hear a follow-up like, oh, this is what happened. Or this is not what happened,
Are we talking about like... Is it Ted Bundy or whatever his name is?
No, they're just bodies found randomly. So, like, one of them was, off the bypass area in Cherry Valley, kind of in a wooded area.
There's a couple found out that way.
A few found out that way.
One off of Auburn. There's been 2 bodies pulled out of the river.
We pull bodies out of the river every month.
Not really.
These guys, just up and vanished. It's not like, somebody was out boating in a boat accident and they couldn't find a body or something.
Because I think several of these were missing people too.
Yeah.
They had
the one that
they
just found last week was somebody that was reported missing at the beginning of December, and they just found his body farther down the river. Yeah,
and I think all of them are men. There is one female that was found, but we think maybe that's unrelated. But who knows? Who knows what's to say?
Yeah, I think
really knows?
I think that one is totally unrelated because most of these bodies that they've been finding are just out in the middle of nowhere in the woods or in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah.
This body that was found up in Roscoe, Illinois. Is that still Roscoe or Rockton?
Yeah, Roscoe.
Okay, Roscoe, Illinois. They found the body in a storage unit.
Yeah.
Of a missing woman from Harvard.
Yeah.
I don't think that one is related, but what was funny is that watching the news article, because nobody came out and was saying anything about this serial killer stuff.
Right.
And then all of a sudden a TikTok blew up and had like millions of views.
Yeah, some guy made a little, reel saying like, hey, we think there's a serial killer here. He basically wanted to bring attention to it so the media would pick it up, or the cops or something.
Yeah, because nobody was talking about it. And
Right.
I've been talking about it to other people, and I'm like, why is nobody saying anything? I'm like, you hear that they found a body, then you don't hear anything else about it.
Yeah, unless they're trying to, give him the impression that they're not onto this person, so he continues to kill.
Yeah, well, I could
continue to do what he does.
Well, I could see that too, like the police playing it close to the vest.
Yeah.
Saying, they don't want to be out there and be like, yes, there's a serial killer.
Right.
And blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to read the news article. But one of the things that hit me in the news article, because finally somebody from Winnebago County, not the coroner, because the original interview was with the coroner.
Yes.
And that fucker is crooked as all hell.
Yeah, it's hard to take what he says as truth just because he's involved in some scandal himself.
Yeah.
And I'm really surprised that he's actually still the coroner, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, because he was embezzling money, or
allegedly
embezzling money.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the case is still pending, but
yeah. But so he is still the coroner, and they got to him for the interview because nobody in the actual police department was saying anything to the news about it.
Well, I did see, I think in that same clip, there was one Roscoe officer. It was a female cop talking to the news, and she's like, oh, none of these are related. And then a minute later, she makes a comment like, well, I don't know anything, we don't know anything about the cases in Rockford because nobody shared that information with us. And I'm thinking like,
wow.
Okay, why the hell would you say that they're not related when you don't even know because you haven't even had a chance to look? So you can't say that they're not related.
Is it like an Al Capone type situation where Al Capone would just bribe the cops and the cops were bribed? And
you could speculate to the end of the day. I do know that there, all kinds of political is, there's dirty stuff all over the place.
Yeah,
the police
it's all
department
over.
Could, just being on this podcast right now will probably get shut down. But but what was really funny is that I was looking up for side story for. I was looking up a news article to read here on tonight's show, and while looking it up on my phone, I got a phone call while looking at this news story from the Winnebago County Jail, saying that I missed a phone call, and the voicemail says, you missed a phone call from the Winnebago County Jail.
Yeah, that'd be like a collect call.
I was like, oh, fuck. I'm like, am I tapped for something?
I mean, we've always said that the police would just be up our butts because of this podcast.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Martha is legit. She's not one of these parts for one of these bodies that are all over
the cops don't give two shits about us.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm going to do here, talk amongst yourselves, because I should have actually brought this story up.
But yeah, is it like a gang-related thing, or are these just spread out?
No, I don't think it's anything like that. I mean, they're a bunch of dudes between 20 to,
32, I think.
Yeah, pretty relatively young men.
I wonder what the motive is, because that's the biggest
It's hard to
thing.
say, and it is hard to speculate, because there have been some just bones found, so they're all different levels of decomposition.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to say, because it does take a long time for a body to decompose, especially in our climate.
Yeah, but they're finding them every day.
Oh yeah, no, it's very odd that they'd find so many within 8 weeks. And the coroner's like, usually we get about this amount throughout the year. Is it just that, we found all these in the beginning of our
Right.
see them. I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, that is a big thing because, like, yes, that person was missing since December and everything like that, and all the weapons that we just all found these, and they've been dead for a while. It's not.
Well, yeah, some have been dead for a while, and this is thing. The scary thing too is because, there's how many serial killers out there that we don't know about that are just walking freely.
Well, didn't that one video, the TikTok video, said there's 2,000 unknown active serial killers?
Yeah, and I'm thinking like, okay, well, where are you getting that number from? Because if we don't know about them, how can you count them?
and I was looking because I was doing a little bit of research for the show.
Imagine that.
Wow.
And I know it's very rare. But to be considered a serial killer, you have to kill more than 2 people. And you have to spread it out.
See, I figured like it'd be kind of like a collection. If you have more than 3 things, it's a collection. So I figured maybe a serial killer would kind of entail the same thing.
I saw something. It's like in your lifetime, you walk past 12.
What?
12 murders in your lifetime.
Do what now?
Okay, so like you go past 12 murderers or something like that in your lifetime.
Like driving in the car, or like walking down the street, you like pass them in your daily life.
Pass them. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were like you have to have 12 murders and
no.
I'm like, no, dude. I just said you have to have more than 2.
No, you walk past like 12 murders in your whole lifetime.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
well, that's murderers. That's not serial killers.
Yeah, that's a little different.
They said murderers / serial killers. So like,
people who do bad shit.
All right, so this news article comes from, no, this is the My State Line one. I don't want that one. This one is from the dailymail.co.uk.
Yeah.
Ook.
Cops insist that 8 bodies found in 8 weeks in an Illinois county are not connected as TikTokers spread claims that a serial killer is on the loose.
That just sounds so messed up, like 8 bodies in 8 weeks, but it's not a serial killer. I don't know. It just sounds really messed up.
And it says here, officials in small Illinois city of Rockford have shut down TikTok rooms. To be fair, Rockford is like the top 3rd city of Illinois.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So it's not small Illinois city. So it's got some size to it. Shut down TikTok rumors of a serial killer on the loose, insisting 8 bodies which have been found in just 8 weeks are not connected. Winnebago County Coroner Bill Hines addressed the rumors after posts about the deaths on TikTok and Reddit earned millions of views, the Rockford Register-Star reported. The rumors also come after Rockford marked its deadliest year on record in 2020 and has been named the 11th most dangerous city in the United States, with a violent crime rate even higher than Chicago, according to reports. That's, and it's funny because it brings back a story of where Mr. Kevin Hinkle was like, because we have a different YouTube channel where we, do stuff around town and stuff like that. And he goes, "Man, you made Rockford sound like it was like the best city in the world."
Then you see those other news articles. It's like the worst place ever.
Well, like you just kind of get used to it at this point.
Well, you don't have a choice. I mean, you're born here. You don't really have a choice.
It doesn't seem that
you don't
bad.
know any better.
It looks bad, but isn't that bad?
All right, so we do not have a serial killer. None of these cases have any relationship whatsoever, Hines told the Register-Star. There is nothing that I've seen that gives me reason to believe that we should be concerned.
Says the guy who's allegedly embezzled all this money.
All right, so here it starts. The body of Michelle Arnold Bosinger, 33, was found in a storage unit at a U-Haul self-storage in Roscoe on March 2nd, but no cause of death has been released as of yet. Now, I do know that they said that there's a person of interest on that one.
Okay.
So this is the only female, of these.
Out of the bunch,
out of the bunch. And I don't think this one has anything to do with it. I think this was just oh shit, there's another body.
Yeah.
Because this one was in a U-Haul storage. These other bodies just look like they're just out there.
Open. Yeah.
Just a week later, human bones were found on March 9th near US 20 bypass and 11th Street in Rockford. Police indicated that the body may have been the result of a suicide.
Okay, and first of all, how are they going to know that if it's just bones?
Yeah. And there's later on in this interview, they actually talked to somebody from the Winnebago County Police, and they go, hold on, I gotta find it too, because it was so, oh man, where is it? Here it goes. It's not like there's someone out there making suicides look like the work of a serial killer. It's just not realistic. I'm like, isn't like one of the parts of what a serial killer does is to kind of like
make it look
pose
like
bodies and shit and make things.
I guess it depends on the serial killer. Not always. I mean, there's all different types of serial killers. I mean, there's some that you see in the movies that, do all the crazy poses and have a message and all this shit.
Well, I was just watching the documentary of the Golden State Killer, and he would pose bodies and shit like that.
Yeah, they all have like a signature of some sort, but I wouldn't say they all like pose bodies.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know much about serial killers, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, I love like watching all the serial killer docs and stuff like that, and it's just so weird. And so for him to be like, no one's out here suiciding people, I'm like, who's that dude that got hung, or he found hung, that was gonna rat on all these politicians and shit?
Yes. Or just like all the people that were working on like that, I think it was like a child trafficking video, or maybe like a sex trafficking. I don't know exactly what it was, but they were all like working on it, and they all they all committed suicide.
No, they were suicided.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on.
So
that wasn't a fucking coincidence.
So there's a way to pose a body to make it look like it was a suicide.
Yeah, it's possible.
Let's see here. It says the next day, the body of Keith Hendricks was found in the Mississippi River in a rural community. And see, I don't know why this one was
the Mississippi River.
Yeah. I don't know if he was missing from this area. But they arrested somebody for that murder. So I think that the UK is kind of fucked up on their shit right here.
Yeah.
On March 16th, the body of Brandon Cuddy was found in Lee County after it had been pulled from the Rock River in Sterling, but the cause of death has not been determined. Cuddy had been missing for 77 days. Now, this one is really weird to me because I had seen a post on Facebook at a local bar that this guy, there was a girl that posted on Facebook. She posted a picture of him that he had stolen some money out of her purse at this bar, and then since then that Facebook post has been taken down, but he disappeared that night after she had posted that on Facebook. So I don't know, and I'm not going to speculate on things because I don't want to end up in the river, but this person was kind of sketchy anyway, and might have had this person dealt with, but that's just speculation to me. But they found his car off of Route 2.
Oh, that was him who had the car in the river, and then he was found elsewhere, huh?
Yeah, and then they found his body, farther down the river in Sterling.
Crazy.
After that, the human bones of Wesley Shaver, 33, were found on March 23rd on Auburn Street in Rockford. He was determined to have died by drug overdose, that the Rockford Register-Star reported. And here's another thing, who's to say that, the serial killer doesn't pump them?
Well, yeah, no, it's definitely possible, but I think we're reaching for straws here.
Human bones were found on March 31st near Cherry Valley. Further details about the human remains were not immediately known.
Did you say that the overdose was human bones found? Or did they just say a body was found?
Yeah, human bones.
Okay, so how the hell do they know if it's an overdose if it's just fucking bones? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you just find bones outside, you can't tell how that person died.
I have no idea.
You know what I mean? So that's, it's
That's
like,
another
okay,
thing.
red flag.
On April 17th, somebody riding an ATV found another body was found in a wooded area near a dirt bike trail on Lowndes Drive in southeast Rockford. The Rockford Register-Star reported further details about the human remains were not immediately known.
Mm-hmm.
On April 30th, the body of Patrick Michael Rome, a 28-year-old who had been missing since December, was pulled from the Rock River in Dixon. Lee County Coroner Jesse Pullington told Registrar that there was no signs of foul play or anything in that nature.
I don't know. It just seems like, people are like, oh, coincidences. Like, come on. There's all these frickin' bodies that all have kind of similar found outside, a lot of bones. You know what I mean? It just sounds too coincidental, like to be, oh, it's just random.
Right? Yeah, it's crazy. And it says, however, Hines did tell the Rockford Register that the number of notably high, the number is notably high, and that the county averages about 4 bodies found a year, and it's doubled that in in a month.
8 weeks.
In 8 weeks.
Yeah, 2 months, basically.
2 months. The cause of death of most of the bodies have been either been determined or has not been determined or not released, fueling the rumors of a serial killer.
Yeah.
Some of the 8 bodies found were the result of suicides, the chief deputy of Winnebago County Sheriff's Department said. And then that's when he's like, it's not like there's someone out there making suicides look like the work of a serial killer.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of weird, but I mean, that's I don't know.
Yeah.
Until we find out the truth.
Yeah, so it says the victims are both male and female. Their ages range from 18 to 33, and the remains have been found in various places.
But the only female was the one that is in the U-Haul.
Yeah, but yeah, so what are your guys' thoughts on it? Like,
I want to believe it, but I don't surely know because, like, I do think that in Rockford there would be a serial killer. Come on.
Because it's Rockford?
It's Rockford, first of all. But, like, all of these just don't seem to add up.
And the thing is that, I read all the comment sections and stuff like that on Facebook.
Yeah.
And everyone is like, why is it taking them so long to come out with stuff like that? Well,
yeah.
And the coroner had said in the report that if somebody dies of like a suicide and they contact the family doesn't want that information out. But I'm like, well, doesn't that come out in a coroner report that goes out to the public anyway?
Well, it's not like it's sent out to the public. You'd have to request that information, so it could be found out. Yeah.
Because you can't be like, oh, so-and-so died today, because you'd have to ask that family and stuff like that.
They need to be notified, but I guess they can ask the media, hey, don't talk about it. I don't know if they can I guess the media can talk about whatever they want, but...
They can talk about whatever they want, but they can't use their real name, so to speak.
No, well, they've pumped out names here, of these people.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
So, fuck, man. It's kind of scary, to have every... And you could definitely tell that there are people on edge in these comment sections.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, well, I can't let my kid go outside and blah, 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 and this and that, And there's also, they're not talking about it in the news, but there's a local Facebook group called Rockford Scanner that has been reporting because they get like inside information on stuff that there's also a serial rapist going around.
Oh.
So whether this serial rapist has, converted to actually killing people,
it's probably just 2 different people.
but they say that the transition that serial killers go from murdering animals to doing they go from different levels. They'll go into rapes.
Is it always linear like that though?
It usually is. But I've been watching these serial killer documentaries. These serial killer documentaries It seems like it's always a transition like that where they go from this level to the next level. Like what's his name? The guy that was shooting people in New York. I can't think of his name.
Out of the trunk of a car or whatever?
The son of Sam.
Oh,
the son of Sam started off by torturing dogs and sacrificing dogs.
Yeah, no, I know they typically, have stories like that, but I wouldn't say all serial killers.
Jeffrey Dahmer started off that way.
My mom went to an Oprah show and she was all excited thinking it was going to be like some cool Oprah show. And she gets there and it's a fucking interview with Jeffrey Dahmer's like fucking parents.
Oh, no.
So she sat behind Jeffrey Dahmer's dad, like right behind him.
Oh, wow.
She was pissed.
Wow.
She's like, man, I wanted, you get a car and you get a car. She's hoping it's like one of those, kind of like exciting episodes. But
wait, so wasn't there like a thing where like on Tinder or something like that, people would but like go to these places and have them get jumped and everything like that?
We got like the Craigslist killer.
Oh, yeah, the Craigslist killer. But in Rockford, that's what one of the things that was reported is that somebody was posing as a female on these dating sites. And then these horny dudes would go out there and be like, yeah, and they're like, meet me at so-and-so place.
Maybe
they're getting beat up.
Maybe it's a bunch of pissed off hookers that decided to like get revenge on their dirty johns.
I mean, that could be one of the things. Like,
I don't know.
It could happen.
But then again, another one of the speculations is that one of these things were, I don't know how they confirmed it being an overdose.
Yeah.
But Rockford is, I guess, have some bad batches of meth going on, and they got a high meth rate right now as well. So, where people are getting taken to the hospital because they got some bad shit. So, who knows?
Yeah, it's hard to say. But it just seems weird that they find all these bodies like pretty quick.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of like similar. It'd be different. Oh, this person was found inside because they died and they were in their house for a week and nobody knew. Or, these are all like outside, kind of like in wooded areas or just random areas.
Yeah. And the one guy that they just found, I remember reading the story on him when he disappeared. They said that he left his keys and everything in his house and
he was just disappeared?
He just disappeared.
See, that's weird, too, because they were, gone for a long time, too.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know. And I get it because it was a hard winter, like a heavy winter. So...
there was a lot of snow, so if they were underneath the snow, but still.
But then I started thinking, I'm like, you would think that as cold as it was and the snow would... keep the bodies,
preserve it.
Well, yeah, they'd be like frozen. Yeah, so they wouldn't be bones. So that's the thing. Like the bones that they found, they'd have to be there for over a year at least, like in this kind of weather to deteriorate that much.
Yeah. So who's to say that the serial killer hasn't moved out of the area?
Oh yeah. I mean, it could. Yeah. I mean, there's a bajillion different things you could speculate. Yeah. We could be here all day talking about, it could be this. No, it could be that.
Yeah,
I think it's this. No, you're wrong. It's this.
Yeah, but it's just this weird coincidence. And that's the key word that I've been seeing in all these.
A coincidence?
Coincidence.
But there's no coincidence.
It can't be a coincidence.
No. 8 of them? Come on.
Yeah. Like. Where you double your dead bodies found.
Yeah, in the first 2 months.
In the first 2 months.
Yeah. Of the year.
And
then the coroner is like, yeah, and then so we're not going to find any more for the rest of the year. I'm like, okay, yeah, right, dude.
Yeah. And then another person in the chat room brought up another good thing about it is that, how they keep saying that these are suicides, and that I guess, with whole COVID and everything.
I get that, yeah.
It was a high suicide rate.
Yeah.
For
all the mental health
issues and stuff like that. So guys, that's creepy, to even think that there could have been a serial killer, or if there is one here, or...
Well, I would definitely say there is, just because there's, I mean, there has to be.
No.
Someone close.
Is it you?
No. No.
Well, it's not me, because that's not my game. So guys, it's kind of creepy. Like I said, we talk a lot of Rockford, but this is a Rockford story that made it all the way around the world.
Yeah.
TikTok forum and all that. So
Pretty interesting.
and I actually came across it too because it came up in my For You page, and I think I forwarded it on to you.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, check it out.
Yep.
They're fucking talking about
Like,
Rockford.
wow, someone's finally talking about it because
Right.
I've told you that for a while now. Once we started hearing about the bodies, I'm like, it's probably a serial killer.
No.
And then sure enough,
So when it pops up and it finally comes out, there's a serial killer.
that
here.
it is a serial
And
killer.
we'd be like,
Yeah,
we told you
And
so.
then the coroner's gonna be like, oh.
Oh shit! Well, he's gonna be in jail anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys. So that is our story on the serial killer of Rockford. Question mark. All right. So we're gonna take a quick break here, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about the government are saying, yeah, UFO, unidentified, can't figure this shit out.
They're here.
And so let's talk about aliens right after this of our merch shop.
Yeah.
Merch shop. All right. So follow the link and order your very own Ghost Freaking Talking merch. Many colors and designs are available. You can even get coffee cups and dog bandanas. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Go out and get yourself some Ghost Freaking Talking gear. If you go out and get some Ghost Freaking Talking gear and wear it and put it on the Instas or something like that, send us an email at
ghostft@yahoo.com.
Where's that?
ghostft@yahoo.com.
That's right, ghostft@yahoo.com. Send us an email with a picture of it, and then we will and give us your address, and we will send you out some Ghost Freaking Talking goodies. We have some stickers and we got a keychain. So we'll get you set up for promoting Ghost Freaking Talking.
I remember the times where I had to say that twice.
What?
The ghostft@yahoo.com. Because
where's that?
ghostft@yahoo.com.
That's right. So if you guys have some spooky stories to share with us, we would love to read them on the show. Where can they send it?
ghostft@yahoo.com.
Where's that?
ghostft@yahoo.com.
All right. So we got about 8 times there. So also, like I said at the beginning of the show, go out and give our buddy, Mr. Hinkle Draws some love. Etsy shop, Mr. Hinkle Draws. We actually did get a company that wanted us to promote their shit on our show.
I want to do it still. I say I want to do it just because it's funny.
It's what was it? Shave My Balls?
Well, now you're gonna promote them.
I'm down. Send us free crap, bro. I'm down.
All right, you guys got a free one that time.
They're gonna send you a pair of smooth balls. Is that what you want? You're pretty excited about this, so
I don't want like somebody else's balls, but
yeah, it was this company that was, I don't even think I'm saying it right, but it's basically a shaver for your balls.
I'm down to try it. I just want to see how it feels.
I'm like, did somebody?
I don't think you need a special contraption for that.
I'm like, did
a razor works, right?
It works for me.
I don't want to cut my balls off.
Then you're not doing it right, bro.
What do you think that thing's gonna be? It's gonna be a fucking razor.
Yeah, dude, you just grab that flap of skin down and you kind of pull it straight.
Ow!
I just imagine like trying to shave like a turkey's face.
I think that's exactly how it would be.
A little nutsack thing hanging from its neck.
Okay, that's exactly how we should do it. We should do a commercial where we get a turkey and just be like that, like with the.
You could have fun doing that, dude.
Just be like, this is exactly how smooth it is.
Oh my god! But somebody had to probably be listening to the show and been like, you know what? I think these guys could sell our ball shavers.
He looks like the kind of guy that shaves his balls.
They looked at my head and they're like, his head's shaved? More than likely his balls are shaved.
I love this.
Yeah, so be looking for my ball shaving technique on our OnlyFans.
Exactly. This is the OnlyFans. We need an OnlyFans. I'm telling you, this is how we sell it, guys.
You're not even of legal age.
Not me. But I am almost 18, guys. 4 months until I'm 18.
Then he can legally click that. Yes, I am over 18.
Yes. It's like a proud moment that every teen goes through.
Don't give me that crap. You've already hit yes on those bitches. So.
For legal reasons, that's a joke. Okay?
Hey guys, so we'll ponder on the ball shaving thing, but we are going to talk now about aliens.
Oh, this is a great next thing to go
and
to.
How
they're probably smooth. They probably don't need ball shavers.
No. You think they don't grow pube on their alien balls?
No, do they? They're probably eunuchs.
Oh,
right.
That's why they stick shit in your ass all the time, then, right?
Because they're curious.
I think it was the first episode you were on,
yes,
right? We were talking about anal probing.
Yeah.
Throwbacks.
The throwbacks. This is the throwback episode, ladies and gentlemen. The Defense Department has confirmed that leaked photos and video of unidentified aerial phenomena taken in 2019 are indeed legitimate images of unexplained objects. Photos and videos of triangle-shaped objects blinking and moving through the clouds were taken by Navy personnel. Pentagon spokeswoman Sue Go said in a statement on CNN. She also confirmed that photos of 3 unidentified flying objects, one sphere-shaped, other acorn-shaped, and one characterized as metallic blimp, were also taken by Navy personnel. All right, so now the government's coming out and saying, we can't fucking figure it out what it is.
Or they're at least saying that, and they know, but it's
trying
the
to be
first step to getting everybody like acclimated to the idea that, hey, there is something out here, because they're not going to just come out and be like, yo, aliens exist. We got all these crafts.
No, I think it's more of the government being like, yo, I know you all hate Biden, but like, if he's pushing out more of the stuff towards like, oh yeah, we don't know, it's trying to make him seem like he's telling the truth, and you want to believe him on more of the stuff. That's what I see from this.
I don't think it has anything to do with Biden.
No, I do think it has something to do with Trump, though. Not to make this a political thing, but Trump, from what I heard, is that Trump really pushed to have that disclosure
in that COVID relief
in the COVID relief bill.
Yeah, like threw it in at the end.
Yeah, he threw it in at the end to have that pushed in, because I think that Trump knows that there's just shit being hidden.
Yeah, he's probably privy to something, and he can't
actually come out and say it right now.
Yeah,
but after that 185 days or whatever from that COVID relief bill,
yeah,
that we have to have full disclosure.
Something. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah, I don't think they just come out and flat out say, "Oh yeah, this is real. This is what we're doing. This is how it's been," because it would just be like chaos. I mean, if you think about it, a lot that would freak out a lot of freaking people, because then all of a sudden, like, religions collapse. Then what?
No, that is true. A lot of religions are,
once they admit that aliens are real, so yeah, they know a lot more, but they're just at least admitting to the idea that, hey, there's things out there that we don't know. But they know more.
Yeah,
sure.
So they are not calling them UFOs.
I found that interesting.
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
Exactly. I thought that's funny how they worded it too.
Yeah, so they're not like
a UFO.
They're not UFOs, but we can't explain them.
Yeah.
And I did see, bringing it back to Rockford, there was a post on one of the radio stations post a YouTube video where it showed, I guess Rockford has had a string of UFO things as well.
Oh, recently?
Over the past year.
Oh.
And I did read, I think we even talked about it on one of the episodes last year, that, everyone's staying home from COVID and shit like that.
Yeah.
More people don't have shit to do, so they're outside looking in the skies. So there's been like a crazy amount of UFO sightings.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, we don't have that busy... Because I've read about this. People see what people want to see, I guess. What Doctor Who said. That's why people don't recognize the TARDIS, because people see what they want to see, right?
Okay.
They don't see the TARDIS because they just don't really care, or they're just too busy focusing on their busy lives and not focusing on, like,
all of a sudden, big blue boxes right there.
Yeah, So people are not doing a lot of their jobs. They're sitting back at home, They're just going to go outside, not go outside, but, open their mind a little bit more towards nature, since they don't have that busyness from real life, I guess.
No.
So, if you have nothing else up there, you're going to see something.
Yeah, because there's been a high number of UFO sightings within the past year, since COVID hit. And a lot of people are reporting hauntings in their houses. And once again, people, a lot of people spend maybe 10 hours in their house a day. And 8 of them's sleeping.
And half of it's sleeping. Yeah. But now that they're stuck at home, they have more opportunity to see things if it is haunted.
Yeah.
But, which I kind of think, I know this is going off on a tangent and I guess kind of off track a little bit, but I do think that these UFO type things are like time travels.
All right, yeah, that's what I was gonna dive into. You're stealing my glory, brah.
Sorry, no, because it makes a lot of sense.
All right, here was my crazy hypothetical thinking the other day. Hypothetical? Here's
making up words.
I'm making up words, baby. That's why you love me. Now I'm gonna have my own dictionary. What was it? Documentaries. But I have a feeling that a lot of these UFOs are time travelers coming back, taking a look at what's going on right now. Like there's gonna be, this is the major turning point of life on Earth with this whole COVID thing and how everyone reacted to it and how everyone's getting these injections in their arms. And who's to say that, these people getting all these, injections in their arms aren't going to turn into something. And then, these time travelers are coming back and being like, oh, this is where it fucking started.
I don't think that is the truth, I guess. I don't see it as being that. I just see it as time travelers coming back to this point in time because, yes, we are nearing, I would say, the halfway point, or we are at the halfway point of this whole COVID crisis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And since the start of COVID till now, we had a crap ton of UFO sightings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because time travelers are coming back to see history itself, right? Because we didn't see a lot of UFOs, I guess, back then, 5 years ago from, because it's not really that big of a historical event. This is like changing the life as we know, kind of.
Yeah.
Because,
no, go ahead. You're going to say something over there.
I forgot.
Oh, okay. Like today, I seen that there's a company coming out with a bracelet that you can wear on your arm to show that you've had your COVID shot.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That you can scan it.
Stupid.
You to get into places, you'll have to scan your bracelet showing that you got your COVID shot.
That's just fucked up.
And basically, it's like when the Jews had to wear the yellow stars during
the pretty much,
right?
Yeah.
You're gonna discriminate me because of my choice whether I get the vaccine or don't get the vaccine. That's fucked up.
I guess Florida is doing that. Not doing that, but going to have not a law, so to speak, but like where I forgot what it's called, but they're going to say if you by July you're not gonna have to wear your masks at all. People can't tell you can't come in because of that.
No, whether you've had your shot or not.
Yeah, no.
Florida's gonna be like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they care anyways, but I think there's one state that just passed something saying that they cannot they cannot say you have to have your vaccine in order to do something or another.
They can't discriminate. I've seen that where like places like what is it, like Ticketmaster and shit like that won't let you into like events unless you show that you have your COVID card.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing. There's already, fake COVID vaccine cards out there. So it's like, it's what's the point of trying to, control it when you can't even control those fucking cards?
So here, we're talking about maybe time travelers coming in to see this. Maybe, we're going to see a divide in people. Like, this is going to be a thing, like a civil war type of thing between the vaxxers and the anti-vaxxers.
It's just a way of control. They're trying to control everybody.
That, dude.
They're trying to fearmonger everybody into controlling them and thinking what they're doing is good.
Because I spend half of my life on Facebook and all these other social medias in chat room, the comment sections. Hell, I even look at the comment sections on Pornhub.
That's so much fun to do. It's so nice in that comment section.
How old are you?
Yeah. How old are you?
Thanks, guys, for watching.
Did you click that I'm over 18 button?
Oh, no. I watched YouTube. I watched the YouTube videos.
Oh, there's a tutorial on it on YouTube.
No, there's no tutorial. No.
But like in these comment sections, it is a very hard divide on the people that are like, I'm vaccinated and I'm better than you.
And
and then the non-vaxxers that are like, what the fuck, dude?
I saw somebody posted on their page that said, if something along the lines of, everybody, or I approve you guys being forced vaccines, like forcing people to get vaccines against their will because he feels it's going to make them safe. And everybody thinks this is going to solve the problem, and it's not. You know what I mean? It's going to help the problem. It's not going to solve the problem. You know what I mean?
Right. And like the whole, a lot of people are like, it's kind of weird that within a year we had a vaccine for this, but we still don't have a vaccine for AIDS. We don't have a vaccine for cancer. We don't have a vaccine,
because
and
those
this is
are
a type
too
of
expensive.
Vaccine that is like the technology has never even been approved by the FDA, and now all of a sudden, just because we're in a pandemic, now they fast tracked it. That's okay. That makes me super fucking nervous. I'm sorry,
did
but
you know that these
does.
vaccines aren't even FDA approved?
Right. It's just approved for the pandemic use or whatever. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then the thing is, they're all free.
Yeah. It's like,
what? Like, seriously?
Come and get your microchips, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. Like, I heard something they were talking about. Oh yeah, we're gonna set up vaccination stations in like airports for you, so you can go travel and get your vaccine. And I'm thinking like, that's fucked up. Like,
I seen at Walmart the other day. It was like, no, wait for your vaccine. Come on into Walmart, get your vaccine. I'm like,
I mean, I understand like at pharmacies and stuff like that, but at a fucking airport, like, it's just. It's just really weird. I don't know. It just makes me really nervous, and
it kind of has that like horror movie feel,
like
to
a
it.
Utopian horror movie, control your mind type shit. Yeah, for sure.
Because like my mom today, she's like, oh yeah, your aunt and uncle are coming in. They got vaccinated, so we can all hang out.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh wait, you didn't get vaccinated, did you? I'm like, no. She goes, well, I guess it's okay. You can still come. I'm like, Ma, seriously?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Everybody's going to divide you into that category of whether or not you're going to get vaccinated.
See, I see it because at the last Civil War, it's been like over 100 years or something like that, right? History has to repeat itself no matter what, right? You're always going to have it repeat. Like the flu, not flu, I forgot what it was. It's exactly like the COVID, right? exact same way. People were against each other. People were wearing masks. They were doing all of the stuff exactly how COVID was. I don't think it's going to be an all-out civil war like, how the North versus the South type of civil war that we had. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's just going to be just a cold war, so to speak. Where it's like toned down, where just people are just bickering.
I heard the Cold War was just a ruse to have have the people worry about that when there was something else really going on.
Exactly. That's kind of what's happening, I guess. With the
so let's all get vaccinated.
Exactly.
That's fucked up. And here's the thing too. It's like, okay, when like SARS was around and all those other crazy things that pop up here and there, like I understand it wasn't, to the degree of, that it is, but with any other vaccines, it's like, even like with the flu vaccine, they don't push it like they are pushing this one.
No.
And everyone's like, well, it's a pandemic. Okay, I get that. But, the flu killed, the flu kills how many, more people. I don't know. I don't know.
It's not a pandemic. A pandemic is defined as like bodies in the streets and,
I don't think if I look up pandemic now, it's going to say bodies in the streets.
Bring out your dead.
Yes, exactly.
Bring out the dead.
Yeah, because that's exactly how like your plague and stuff was. That is a pandemic.
That was what movie was that? The Holy Grail.
Yeah, that's well, he's not dead.
Now he is.
But yeah, no, that it's not up to par of how a pandemic really truly is, right?
Of a disease prevalent over a whole country or world. It's a disease that's within the whole country and world. It's a pandemic.
He's thinking of, like, he thinks that in his mind that a pandemic is, people, like, you just walking and all of a sudden you're stepping over somebody.
Right, like in the plague, like back in like the 1800s when there's bodies in the streets. It would be like that if we didn't have modern medicine.
The flu is the exact same thing as COVID, right? It's around the world.
Pretty much.
It's a disease.
Yep.
So are we in pandemic with flu?
Well, no.
Why?
Because that's different, I guess.
How?
I don't know.
Exactly.
How the fuck did we go from aliens to argue about the pandemic?
I don't know.
This is what you get here, guys.
But you know what? I think the aliens are the serial killers.
Ah, yes.
Oh, look at you. You're tying it back to the first story.
Yes. The aliens are killing everybody.
Who's to say that the aliens aren't abducting these people, doing their tests on them because of the pandemic, and disposing of the bodies?
Okay, I think the aliens have nothing to do with the fucking pandemic. So, aliens, they've been around since before the pandemic.
No. I'm saying they're testing these people because of what's happening right now.
You don't think they're just probing their butts?
Could be.
Usual?
It could be. I'm not getting probed in my butt. But yeah, so going back to, we'll wrap this up here real quick. But so the government is basically saying, dude, we don't know now. It's not the whole, it's a weather balloon. They're not coming up with dumb shit now. They're like, motherfucker, I don't know.
Yeah, and that's a step in the right direction. At least they're not trying to, pull the wool over our eyes and be like, oh, it's a weather balloon or whatever other bullshit story they make up. But so it's nice to see that. But I mean, there's definitely more to it that they're not going to admit because, like I said, if they do admit to everything in like full detail, then, the world's going to go into complete chaos because the religions
cats and dogs
are crushed.
living together.
You know what I mean? Like all their beliefs are basically proved wrong.
Yeah. All right. So here's my other thought that I had on this is that maybe this is their way of giving us a soft opening, I guess, of they're going to allow aliens and they're going to be like, yes, aliens, now they're like, we can't explain it. Next step is to Yes, there's aliens. Next step is integrate.
We live among them.
We live among them.
Like Doctor Who. Like it's becoming Doctor Who, guys. This is so sick. I mean, you're just gonna be like, "Hey, neighbor," and it's just like glob, just like this glob of thing, just like, "Oh, hey, neighbor."
Or is it another thing to where they're gonna allow, because they know that the planet's dying, maybe they're gonna allow aliens to come in and help us transport to another spot.
That is, go live among them.
I don't know. They say there's a secret space program and there's already people on Mars, so it could be, but you're not going to fit the whole fucking planet's population on Mars. So who's going to go? The people with the fucking money.
Yeah. Well, I was just listening to Darkness Radio podcast yesterday, and Bill Chappell, who designs all the equipment for Ghost Adventures and stuff, we use his iOvilus a lot. He was on the show because he lives out in the country somewhere, and he said that he's had a rash of UFO sightings. He said, though, that the other night there was a UFO that looked like it was at least 2 miles long.
I've seen other stories where they've seen just ginormous UFOs in the sky, just freaking huge.
So then Dave Schrader's like, who's to say that these aren't, the government isn't using spaceship technology to build these quote unquote arcs?
Yeah.
To where, and you and me aren't going to be on this arc.
Nope.
It's going to be like the rich people. It's going to be the Bill and Melinda Gates. Well,
right.
she's available now, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to go and get yourself on this arc, Melinda Gates is now available.
Just like that one movie. What movie? Did we watch that movie? It was about the
2012.
Yeah.
Where they had those arcs that they got on, and you had to be really rich to get a ticket to get on.
I mean, it is 2021.
Oh,
yeah.
Whoa. Just flipped
there
it.
You go.
There you go.
So, I don't know. It's hard to say.
So aliens are among us, ladies and gentlemen. Whether they're, other governments putting out their equipment that we can't fucking figure it out, or are these legitimate people from outer space coming in?
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely interesting.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the show today. Look at that. We, within a week, you got a second episode.
Yeah,
Watch
guys.
Hello. And we are into the month of March. We are in the month of May already. So man, we're cooking through 2021 already. Uh-oh. You guys hear that? Yeah, that's what you get when you live in the ghetto.
You live in the ghetto?
No. When you live in the redneck hood, you get awesome sounding cars like that.
He was so cool.
He was so awesome. Listen to my loud pipes interrupting your podcast. Fuck your podcast. Listen to these pipes. Listen to these dogs roar. But yeah, so if you guys have any paranormal stories you would like to share with us, where can you write to us at?
GhostFT@yahoo.com.
Where is that?
GhostFT@yahoo.com.
That is right. Also, make sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram,
Twitter. No.
Twitter. I don't know.
I always
retract it. TikTok, not
TikTok.
Twitter.
Yeah,
TikTok,
we are on
Twitter,
TikTok.
same thing.
TikTok, and you don't stop.
TikTok, don't stop it now. Yeah. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok are our major ones. Download the podcast wherever you can, like iTunes, and I don't even think it's Apple Podcasts now. Apple Podcasts, and check us out on Google Play and Spotify. We sound sexy as fucking Spotify. So go out and listen to us wherever you download our podcast. And you can see our beautiful faces here on YouTube. So make sure to subscribe here on YouTube.
And click that notification bell so you get notified when we push out a new podcast.
Go and buy our merch at Spreadshop. Yeah, get some awesome Ghost Freaking Talking gear. And also make sure to come out and say hello to us whenever we are out on events again. Hopefully we can get to some events. Would love to get out, check out things. So
yeah, be pretty excited.
I miss conventions, bro. I miss them.
Yeah.
And it'd be so cool to take this podcast to like a horror convention.
Yeah, specified.
A horror convention. Yeah. Take my $20. $20, bro.
You know, right?
So guys, thanks for listening. I am the Rumor Roost. My name is Nick.
I'm Trenton.
I'm Mr. Bessie.
And as always,
everyone has a story to tell.
And
stay spooky.
Alright, guys. See ya. Shave your balls.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget to shave your balls.